Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Corporate Crossover Podcast, Bound for Success. I'm your host, Kevin Long, bringing you inspiring stories and practical advice from the 15 years of helping business professionals start, build or grow their companies by writing and leveraging a book. Each week we're going to be exploring the world of leaving the corporate rut and transforming into successful entrepreneurs, making a significant impact in the world of business. So if you're feeling boxed in by your 9 to 5 and dreaming of entrepreneurial freedom, you're in the right place. So let's dive in. Welcome back to Corporate Crossover, Bound for Success, the podcast where business professionals unlock the next level of impact and income by finally writing the book that sets them apart. Now, I'm your host, Kevin Long, as usual, and today's episode is a direct message to the quietly brilliant professionals out there. You know, the ones who get results behind the scenes, the ones who've been in the game for years, and even the ones who clients love but the industry doesn't really see. So today's topic is the authority gap and why good professionals get overlooked and how writing a book closes the gap. So let's dive in. What is the authority gap? The authority gap is the space between your capability and your visibility. Now, it's when you deliver great work but don't get public credit for it. You get referrals, but sometimes, or a lot of the time, no recognition. And you stay busy, but underpaid or undervalued, I should say, underpaid or undervalued. And you watch less experienced people speak on stages that you know you belong on. It hurts. Not because of ego, but because you know your work changes lives or businesses and you're not being seen at the level that you really do deserve. Why does it happen to the best of people? This gap exists for one reason and only one reason. You're too focused on doing the work and not enough on documenting it. You know, you've built businesses, you've coached clients, you've led teams, and you've seen results time and time again, usually. But if no one outside your circle knows it, your authority stays hidden. And guess who gets the spotlight instead? The loud, the polished, the visible, even if they're not as skilled or qualified as you. So, a book is the shortcut to closing the gap. Now, here's the good news, okay? Writing a book is the fastest way to reposition yourself as a visible authority. Now, you might be asking why, and I'll tell you. I usually have 3, but this is going to be 4 this week. Because a book says, I know my stuff, I have a framework, I've done the work, been there, done it, got the t-shirt, as they say, and I can teach what I actually do. A well-structured book tells your story. It shows your credibility and it documents your value in a way no website or LinkedIn post ever could. It becomes your proof, your positioning, or even your platform sometimes, well, a lot of the time. So what happens when you close the gap? When you move from invisible expert to published authority, things shift very fast indeed. And you've already mentioned I've got multiple hundreds of up-to-date testimonials. Have a listen to them, have a watch of some of them. They're amazing. You attract clients who value what you do. Not many tire kickers. You're invited to speak, you're invited to teach and lead. And you build a brand that works while you sleep globally. And that's the key. And you gain leverage to raise your prices and your position of authority. A book actually elevates your perceived value and gives people a reason to take you seriously. So there's no more competing on price, there's no more explaining what you do, and there's no more watching from the sidelines. So how do you start closing the gap today? Now, here's your short action plan. There's about 4 things, there's a lot more, but these are the main ones that I come across. Reflect on the results you've helped others achieve already. Identify the core message or the framework behind your success. Commit to turning that into a structured, story-backed book. And don't go it alone. Get help with the process and publishing path. If you're serious about your business, you really should be thinking about this one. And that's where we come in at Baby Steps Publishing. Our system is built to help professionals like you go from visible to in demand, but without overwhelm or endless drafts. So we're up to the end there again already, isn't it, man? My closing thoughts. You don't need another certification, and you certainly don't need to work harder. We're going to teach you to work smarter, not just harder. And we're going to teach you to stop trading your time for money, because that system doesn't work, okay? You need to be seen for what you already are. And your book is how that begins, okay? So let's close the authority gap together. I'm Kevin Long, and this is Corporate Crossover, Bound for Success. Your voice deserves the spotlight, and your book puts it right there. So have a wonderful weekend and a fantastic up and coming week as usual. Love and light to you all. And that's a wrap for today's episode of Corporate Crossover Podcast, Bound for Success. I want to thank you for joining us on this journey towards entrepreneurial independence. And remember, it's your determination and drive that will make you bound for success. So you never miss an episode, be sure to subscribe to our podcast on your favourite platform. And for more resources and to connect with us, visit our website at babystepspublishing.com. And if you want to grab a copy of my latest book, just go to linktree/The Kindle King. Until next time, keep crossing over and keep growing. I'm Kevin Long, signing off.